Welcome everybody. This is the recap of Bund session Wednesday, the 4th of September. Hyper number 1, range short level at 820 was around the 66 up to 77 to 80. So it means it's a little bit a blurred profile because you see at the evening session yesterday, the whole trend we made up was sold again. And on the afternoon and then especially at the evening, we see very weak Bund market. Rising volatility, people get out of the market and boom, everything was going back and hit the previous day main value. So this is where now the overnight session was being played. And then the early pre-market, boom, even sold out of this area into, again, this 3-day balanced area, the low of these areas with these strong lows. So this was not the best preset now today for making a clear announcement because profile was blurry and market was looking for direction. Anyway, I said range long levels, if we get there in the pre-market and in the opening, then the higher area, if we are still within this area, then is 77 to 80. Hypo 2, I said short. If we see increasing sell volume, then into the 53, and then a weak pullback means staying here at this area. Then we had targets 40, 32, even 24 plus. And hypo 3, long, I would only go for the long. If we see increasing buy volume into the overnight low and a higher pre-market volume edge. At 822, this was 278.81. So if this is happening, there is a chance that we re-enter then this area here and get into this distribution from the overnight up to the 90 area. So let's see then how it was played out. Boom, and it was quite complicated today. You see this? The wide pre-market range. Crazy. It was already 40 ticks wide from the 53 up to the 94. So more than 40 ticks, so very volatile, already volatile pre-market. So the clear mark wasn't really given out of this profile. There was of course this volume edge here around this starting 78 and up to the 81, but there was also some selling initiative starting already here at 8 o'clock at this area. You see this little minor distribution. So it wasn't really clear if the seller is looking to go into this level where I said between 77 and 80 and the level here at the 88. So how you could play it then? It first looked like after the open that this could be the level where we would look, because you see as they're hitting then the area here 80, 81 at this moment, you see they took it out a few ticks, but overall, and we make it a little bit, spread it a little bit so everybody can see it, you see then here at the top area, first they didn't stop here. They didn't stop at the 80, 81, you see this? Boom, they take it out by 1-2 ticks, but it was not a breakout like volume by volume. Do you see this? This is not the bullish breakout by volume here. So at this moment you couldn't, you were uncertain what is happening. It was not the textbook like trigger was not the textbook like responsive selling. That means first you stay flat. This is not the trigger we want to see. We don't want to see that they take out the high. On the other side, look for my hypo number 3, the long. We said increase buy volume into this level with weak pullback. You see this is also not happening here when we take out this level. Here we take it out. Overnight high, a low, 80, 81, 77 to 81. See this? This is not a very bullish breakout situation. So you stay flat. Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes you don't get the trigger, but the most important thing is that you stick with your parameters and say, okay, then I stay flat. So you stay flat. But then you see, they take out the high, no more buying. Responsive selling signs number 1, number 2, even a third time. So you could have decided to get into it. 1, 2, 3, impulse phase 1, boom, impulse phase 2 even was made. I make it a little bit bigger so you can see and put the arrow away. So you can see the attempts of the sellers. Seller attempt 1, impulse phase 1, backing up a little bit, boom, and even try an impulse phase 2. But you see, once reaching here, the POC and 1 tick below, so that means 76, where you may have started here then at 81. So you are maybe 4 or 5 ticks in plus, and you have 1, 2 impulse phases already have seen. You should then, if you work it like I do, move your stop on scratcher to the entry level. So this happened then. Boom, they rejected it only with a small buying, but this was enough to get price very high back. That means we had some kind of vacuum in the offer. So anyway, this didn't work out so far. What with this adaptive stop handling, you at least made only a little minus, or on scratch a get out on entry level. That means a zero tick trade. But first thing what we now see at this moment is play down works. Okay, what do we do then? We waited then. Market finds some accumulation here. That means people are got into selling again. And look till this moment here. You see now we have a little bit of P-shaped distribution. That means when we look at the pre-market, at this area where we had the selling starting here, couldn't get now above, but still a second selling pressure wave here, and the highest volume edge of the pre-market here. At least we now building value, I saw this, above this pre-market higher edge and around the overnight low. That means, of course, now, is this be the open test drive for the short, getting from weak volume into a short from the open overnight low? But it wasn't so clear because we were a little bit in the middle of those profiles. That means we are in the middle of the overnight, and I saw all the time the selling was happening here. See this? See all the selling here? And look what price did at this moment. Price did not react. That means we have a starting situation of absorption. This is what I trying to show you with this green arrows. That means the people that sell made no effect on price. That means price stayed at the 76 level. That means everything in between 79 and 76 here got absorbed. Selling, selling, selling. No price impact. Some little buying, boom, get up. Can take out the high, more than 1, 2 ticks, going back again, selling, 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 absorption. So at this moment I decided to take on the chance. If I see that the absorption holds on, the selling then getting weaker and switching back to market buying would tell me we have the chance now that on scratch on this area around the overnight low, they may not playing this open test drive short, but we may have a chance to get into this overnight higher distribution and repair maybe then a little bit this profile on the upside. But anyway, this happens then. You see, now selling got weaker at this moment. We see some first stop of selling, then even weaker selling compared to this, and then boom, we put back into buying. Means now people get out of shorts and maybe some short buyers coming in. I decided then around this level here at the 78 to get in the range long. I did this here at this moment. So you see then again responsive buying now starting, and let's call it just buying at this moment because they're just switching from now selling, and absorption hold us at this level, and then we see buying again. So you see, but they could only take out. They get only 1 tick higher from this scenario. So get to the POC, and then what you see here in the delta, and I make it bigger so you can see it. See this little candle, the sticks on the top here. So you see then already in the footprint, and we scroll this back so everybody can see this in footprint because this was very interesting. We saw then that at this very moment, I want to show you in footprint, when I was entering the position right now here, as I'm seeing the buying is going on, switching, weaken and upselling, absorption hold before, and now you see that they starting again, when reaching the top, that means the top, the POC here, what was at the moment in 79, very weak buyers only. So we saw people getting out, we saw some buying, but then a little bit waiting, and then only 23 contracts. An immediate 213 and 100 contracts again got sold into the bid. Not a good sign.
I stayed within this trade because we haven't seen the impulse phase one. I'm now in the moment where I'm not in control of the trade. I had a stop 2 ticks below the low of the structure. That means a 4 tick stop, and I just waited. Right now, I didn't got stopped out because they just turned around again and tried it again on the upside. But you see, as they hit again the 79 level, only 24 selling and immediate buying and immediate sellers coming. And now, boom, I got stopped out. So this didn't work then. It didn't work. That means, what happens at this moment? Even though absorption hold, even so this is the basic number one trigger, followed by market buying again, sellers were still here and they wanted this liquidity, and they wanted now, the probability was rising that they really want to play now the open drive short, if you want to call it this way, because we see weakness, price setting back to overnight low, and then first the chance we get into the old range, but then, okay, you know what, no, we want to play this. And they were very strong. And if we look now to the trading window, you see now, watch delta and price, how the last attempts here from the buyers, and again some liquidity. We made it even short tick above the POC, but then you see this, delta, look, boom, okay. Pulling back to the POC, collecting, absorbing now the longs to get into the shorts, already preparing the shorts. So boom, 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 boom. Playing the whole range to the bottom of the pre-market. And so that didn't work out, and no more trade prepared from my big preparation today. So I stayed flat, only had this minus trade then today. It was, in my case, a lucrative one. It was good handled. I didn't see any mistake. Emotionally was also a very comfortable feeling trade. But at the end, the market was unclear, looking for direction. And as I told you, because of a lot of minor numbers are announced today, we will have a little bit more volatility. I announced this today at 8 o'clock, and you see it was more volatility. And a lot of numbers are coming. People also looking for direction, uncertainty with the Brexit. With Italy, of course, number one thing, still issue with the trade war. And today we saw the impact. After this weak signs, not can continue this trade that started so confident in the morning. But I haven't prepared any more trade then, but the hypo 2, my short, if we see increasing sell volume again into the 51. But this didn't happen within my trading hours. I stopped trading at 10 o'clock 30 around because I saw we couldn't make it anyway. See here to the low again, whereby second hypo was provided. Finally then Lagarde starts to speaking that she sees a risk rising short term in the European Union, and this made traders go crazy. You see this here, boom, getting out of positions, hitting first time the 53, but no weak pullback here. Anyway, I wasn't still not in the market anymore as doing this live review now, or this review. But you see, it continues the weakness. It's now very volatile. It means if you trade this kind of scenario and waiting now again for hitting the low and looking then for a weak pullback, you're right, you can play then my hypo 2 because it has a good probability trade, good risk reward on the downside. Means we have the probability to hit the lows, the LVN 44, and also the level 40. This is the VPOC of the last week's profile, composite profile. So everything okay, but you have to be aware if you trade this kind of trade. Let's see how it was played out. And you look in here for, again, boom, rising volatility. You need to be aware that your stop have to be very far away because it is very volatile now, this market. So maybe your stop, not only it's enough, of course, 4 or 5 ticks, but it's more 7, 8 ticks. You see the initiative starting, you see first pullback. It was not a super strong pullback from bulls, but I would be a little bit, thinking of, is this really what I want to see at the low? At the end, it worked out. You see they coming in again. They're reaching then the target at 40. That means from the your last week profile VPOC, 40 and now still having pressure and searching for the low. You see how they put liquidity here at the 34 as I'm talking to protect the selling passively, and now switching to the market selling again. But overall, it is very, very volatile. You need very, very far stop than in a normal volatile market. So hypo 2 is right now in the moment played, but it was not easy to play. They're reaching target number 1 and reaching target number 2. The 34 for my case was looking for the 34. And the thing was, if you have entered here, 1 needed a stop. When you look where the initiative started again, so this was at this moment here, 1 would have needed a stop maybe around here, got into this trade then maybe around here, and now the first target was the 40. So this is a 1-to-1 risk reward trade. If you go for target number 2, it is at least then a 1.30 risk reward. So 12 ticks stopped, 16 ticks target. So of course you didn't need then the stop at the end, but this was just logically, systematically, what you need to give the space to unfold with this higher raised volatility, in my opinion. Because you see where we have the volume edge, I would go at least 1-2 ticks above. So here, for me, this would make sense when you see where selling started, where we have the low volume node. For me, it would make sense to have the stop then around this area here, or maybe here. So that's it. Marking is looking now for next value, for acceptance. We will see if this is happening. I'm not trading this, of course, now anymore, and it's too late, and volatility also is rising. It's nothing I'm looking for. My place, then good luck and happy learning. We will talk then, of course, in the mentoring also deeper now into this, digging deeper into the materials of overall finding understanding for the market. This will be our module number 1. Thanks for watching. This is Anton Höpfel for Manapa.